The following production is part of the We Be Geeks podcast collective.
From days long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend.
The dream that came through a million years, that lived on through all the tears.
It came here, the Fandom Nexus.
Fabulous secret powers were revealed to our host as he plugged in his microphone.
I have a podcast!
Here he is, your Spider-Pan, Jeremy.
Yes, it is me. I am back again for another week. Took a little bit of a week off last week. Well, I guess, or did we? I don't remember, but with Easter break, I wanted to take some time off over the weekend. Otherwise, I probably could have gotten a second show out last week and done two shows because I have everything already recorded for this week's show, and you're going to really enjoy this. This is more audio from Planet Comic-Con Kansas City. I got a chance to, well, I don't want to say sit down because I was standing there at their booth, but I had some time with Pop Culture Pastor, another great podcast. We talked to them last year, had some fun, and since they were going to be there as well, I managed to arrange some stuff where we could sit and discuss a fun topic. I thought, to follow up on all the movie songs that broke us, which I think I'm compiling another list because I swear I didn't quite get every song that probably could qualify for that. But we decided to talk about, well, I guess I kind of decided, I presented them the concept and I already had some notes, but these would be songs that are about a particular character or team. They're like character and songs, and some of our favorites. So sometimes this be a TV theme song if the song directly references the characters or the team. So it's that kind of a thing, which I'm going to explain that, I think, a little bit as I had the conversation with them, because it's already recorded and everything, and I'm trying, it's been a few weeks ago. I don't remember everything I said at the beginning of it, but I'm pretty sure I'll go over that as well when we get in there. But it's a lot of fun. Make sure, of course, you check their podcast out. They're more pop. I'm nerd culture over here in retro. They're more pop culture, and so they'll go and they watch TV series and they'll do reviews of series. I think they're going through The Last of Us right now, season 2. I didn't watch the first season. I played the first game and enjoyed it, but I wasn't really interested in watching the TV show because same story, but stuff that I didn't want to see by the second episode, and really not interested in the story of the second game or the second season at all. So, but yeah, they'll focus on more what is pop culture and what is popular, be it nerd culture or anything. They don't have a problem discussing Taylor Swift showing up at Chiefs games, that kind of thing. So, but they're somewhat local to me. I think they're more a little further off in Kansas, and I'm, of course, closer to Kansas City in Missouri. So if you're interested in all things pop culture from a slightly Christian point of view, because they are a couple of youth pastors, they don't really get preachy or anything on the show, but they do, of course, have a perspective that's going to come across. And so, but you might enjoy them show. They're just a couple of fun guys anyway, so I think you would enjoy them. So definitely go and check them out. But before we get into that, I did at least want to talk about, because there's not really much I was watching this week, but there's definitely something I've been playing because released for the PS5 is finally Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And since I finished getting my Platinum Trophy on Final Fantasy IV, I'm pausing before I go to Final Fantasies 5 and 6. And then I've also, because there was a sale with Square Enix, I've got digital copies of 8, 9, and 10 plus 10-2 came with it. So I will be jumping into those. And I don't know if I've got any further than that, but I'm just playing all the Final Fantasy games so I can, really, I feel like I get caught because mainly I had played 7. I'd played a little bit of what was called 2 for the Super Nintendo, which actually was 4, which I just finished. So now I've actually completed a game I started when I was a teenager on somebody's recommendation, and I didn't ever finish it back then. But now I have completed it, and I've got a Platinum on the PlayStation. But the remake brought me back to 7, and so I really enjoyed the remake, and I've really enjoyed Rebirth. But that got me to go and check out some of the other games because at first I was more action RPG, and I was really not into turn-based combat and that kind of thing. But I was able to get in and I played 15 and 16, and I've played a little bit of 14. I need to come back to it with 14. I haven't finished the first major story, and there's a lot of expansions with 14 because it's an online game. But I would like to check out everything. And I thought, well, hey, they got a collection of the pixel remasters of all these other ones. I have opportunities. I sit and play these, and I've been actually having some fun, doing the turn-based combat. And I think as I've gotten older, I appreciate turn-based combat with maybe a little bit of interaction. After I played, what was it? Sea of Stars, which, oh my goodness, that was a wonderful game. I had a lot of fun playing that one. And so I've realized as I've gotten older, I think I appreciate it a little bit more. I mean, it's a little silly, and I've always said, yeah, let's line up on this side, they'll line up on that side, and we'll take turns hitting each other, But there's still fun to be had in that. And as Final Fantasy has gone on, they've been able to do more with story. So I have finished playing 4, and I'll come back and do 5, and then I've even got some other JRPG. I'm starting to get into JRPGs now. I've got some other ones waiting for me I'm going to play them as well. I still got a stack of games in my inventory that I haven't gotten around to playing that I would like to play. But I'm sidetracking because I wanted to play Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And holy cow, they ain't kidding. This game is fun. It bears some similarity to Skyrim and Hitman, if Hitman was a first-person perspective game, because you do a lot of stealth, because Indiana Jones is not a superhero, and you're going to use a lot of stealth and sneaking around and disguises to do various different things. Although I think they could have done better with what constitutes as somebody detecting you, because I'll be in disguise and somebody will just not like the look of Indy as I'm walking by, and they'll start trouble. And if you have like 3 or more guys come at you, you're going to get your butt whooped. So it can be difficult. I used to really struggle with melee combat in a first-person thing, but at Skyrim, I managed to get around, and I beat that game, and I probably haven't done everything in there. There's so much in Skyrim. But it does play similar to that, if you've ever played Skyrim in a first-person perspective. And there's a lot of stuff going on there and a lot of fun. And my gosh, Troy Baker did such a great job at playing Indy that you really do feel like you're watching a young Harrison Ford. It is that good. And even the opening, if you've heard about the opening that you get to play through the beginning sequence of Raiders, it's true and it's amazing. And I was giddy and I swung with the whip and I cheered out a Yahoo. I tell you, I'm really enjoying it. I'm still in the first major area in the Vatican City, uncovering mysteries and exploring little underground hidden tombs and just doing all kinds of Indiana Jones kind of things. And I mean, not very far into it, but I am having a lot of fun with it. I didn't buy the expensive package because there was a deluxe edition that you got a lot of, like a digital art book and a digital soundtrack. And I was like, well, I don't want to have just an art book on the game on my console or soundtrack that's only on the console. If I have a soundtrack, I want it available so I can listen in the car. And if I'm going to get an art book, I'd like a physical copy of the art book, which is why with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, I did buy a deluxe package because I got a steel book and all the other stuff. And this would have had a steel book for Indiana Jones, but I didn't feel like paying the extra money. Now, there is some expanded DLC. And I've noted that if I want the DLC, I do have to spend like over $30 to get all the digital things. So I'm holding off on that. If they offer the DLC, the extra game content as a later bit just by itself, I will get that because I don't really want the other stuff and I don't want to spend $34 on it. I mean, goodness, I just spent with my discounts, I think I spent over $50 because I got a lot of discount stuff built up at GameStop and reward points and everything. Having a membership there is a wonderful thing. And I even have a GameStop store card, which I get reward points. And when I use that, and I can, it does make things a lot cheaper. So I do save money when I buy a newer game. And I plan on using it in June when the Magic the Gathering's Final Fantasy stuff comes out. I'm not going to buy a bunch of it, but I want to get at least like a Cloud Leader pack, and maybe I'll even get the Cecil one. Cecil is from Final Fantasy IV, and I was familiar with that character, and he's got a good story arc really in that game. So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing this week. But I'm not going to sit around and talk and jaw at you all that long. I'm going to toss you right over to me at Planet Comic-Con KC with the Pop Culture Pastors. Take it away, me.
Will you stop this foolishness?
What foolishness would you like to see?
Alrighty, so now we got something special. Not like I haven't recorded a lot of special things, but it's been a year since I've gotten to speak with you guys. I'm here with Dave and Cody, the Pulp Culture Pastors themselves, which hopefully y'all started listening to their show when I was talking about them last year. We had a lot of fun. We talked Star Wars and all kinds of, I don't remember what our main topic was. We just had fun geeking out, man.
All over the place.
We were all over the place.
Yeah, I think we just kind of go.
We just go. Yeah. But it's nice to have a focal point. So I have thought of a topic and everything, but if we get off tangent and everything, but first I want, we might want to reintroduce for anyone who's maybe new and has not heard of you guys. Sort of, granted, I guess saying Pop Culture Pastor says a lot. So if I'm more of the geek nerd culture, you guys are definitely pop culture. You guys will cover stuff that I'm like, you actually had quite discussions about Taylor Swift a few times, so be prepared, y'all.
Tim Taylor. Yeah, we will talk just about just about anything in pop culture, geek culture. Even as it extends into real life, we like to talk about deep themes and stories. And so we're just all over that. We like to have fun mostly. Yeah. And we like to just have community. That's why we're here.
Yeah, when Travis Kelce was dating Taylor Swift, you guys had a lot of fun with that.
Well, we're Chiefs fans, so it seemed like a big deal.
Yeah.
It still is. It still is.
It still is,
Cody says it is.
That's right. And Cody is always right, isn't he? Right?
No,
sure he is.
absolutely not.
You will learn if you listen to the podcast.
Indeed. But I thought it would be fun, following up like the previous episode I did where I was talking about the songs that broke us, which you guys have named some pretty good ones that I probably should mention, so I'm going to have to do another round of that. But I had a bunch of ideas that I never got to, and one of them was some of our favorite character songs. Now, the definition I'm having for character songs is the song is about a character. So most of them would probably be like a television theme song or a song from a Disney movie where they're talking specifically about another character. Usually a character doesn't sing about themselves, except for maybe Shiny, where he look at me and my grand stuff. And I don't know why people didn't like that song. And Moana, I thought it was great. It had a banging tune. I was all into it. But people for some reason don't like that scene. I don't get it. But it's a great narcissistic, all about me because I'm so shiny. That's a good character song. It's not actually on my list. Where did I put my phone? Because I have my list.
It's probably not something.
So we're going to pause just a second.
Okay. So if you
give you a chance to think. All right. So now that we're back. Okay, so I have prepared, of course, a list of songs, and you guys had all of, I think you guys had about an hour when I went to Don Bluth today to go and talk about some of your favorite, and so some of this is probably you're going to think of it as we go, and that's great. Because I'm not doing a top 5 list, we're just going to discuss some of these, right?
Okay.
So let the guest go first. I know you actually prepared yourself a list.
I did.
So what's your first one thing you've had listed?
So my first one is from Monty Python. And the Holy Grail. It is Brave Sir Robin.
Oh, yes!
So you get how Sir Robin perceives himself, but then you get how everyone else perceives Sir Robin from his minstrels singing. And, it's hilarious.
Permission to introduce a rule?
Sure.
If you don't sing it, it doesn't count.
Uh-oh.
I am not going to sing it, but I could sing it. I'm just sparing your listeners from my vocal abilities or lack thereof.
So Robin bravely ran away.
There you go.
I did not. I did not.
It's very good, actually.
There we go.
Love it.
Well, I did used to sing in the church choir, so every Christmas.
Yes. That movie is an all-time classic, and that is one of my favorite parts of the movie is whenever the minstrels are singing, and then when they eat the minstrels and everyone rejoiced.
That is a deep cut. That is a great one. I had not even thought of that one.
So I like the songs that, yes, the lyrics do tell you who the character is, but the song itself as the character too. For instance, the theme song to the Dukes of Hazzard by Waylon Jennings doesn't just tell you who the Dukes are, just a good old boys, never meaning no harm, been running from the law since they were born. The music itself becomes the character because Waylon Jennings is Waylon Jennings.
Right.
And so, I really like songs like that, like character songs that get into that. And I'm going to go deeper with that later. But for my first one, that's the first one I thought of. Just Waylon Jennings, the theme song to the Dukes of Hazzard.
And we'll count that you quoted some lyrics as you're singing it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can sing it.
He's
just a good old boy.
There we go.
Just
never meaning no harm. Been running from the law. I don't remember all the words. That's the problem. I would need the lyrics up here.
Yeah, and my funny story about that is I love the Dukes of Hazzard, but the Incredible Hulk terrified me, and the Incredible Hulk would always come on first.
Yeah.
And my parents would want to watch that, so I was fine up until his eyes went green. That freaked me the heck out. So it took me a while before I was a fan of the Incredible Hulk, and then but I'd sit there for Dukes of Hazzard. I never knew what was happening on the Dukes of Hazzard, but the cars were chasing.
As it turns out, Bill Bixby, you really didn't like him when he was angry. He gave you nightmares.
Oh yeah, with those contact lenses and the look you would get, and they would do that. Oh, it was terrifying.
I love that show.
Yeah, now I love it, but boy, when I was a kid, I was running for the cover. But yeah, Lou Ferrigno's not that scary, but it's the transition with the eyes, with the green contacts and the look. But oh my goodness.
I beg to differ. I met Lou Ferrigno at a Comic-Con. I was afraid for my life. I literally thought he was going to hurt me. No, I'm
but
just
it
kidding.
seems like such a sweetheart.
He seemed like a good guy.
Like the guy's 70.
The guy's 70, but he's in great shape. He looked like, he could tear me limb from limb.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to get a chance to meet him someday.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe will be back right after these messages.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
Should GLP-1 weight loss medication like Wegovy and Zepbound cost thousands of dollars? We don't think so. TryLifeMD.com helps provide insurance access to the leading GLP-1 medications. Visit TryLifeMD.com and check your eligibility for GLP-1 medication with copays as low as $0. Listen to Bridget's story after losing 55 pounds and using her insurance for coverage.
LifeMD helped me get covered with my insurance. Finding out that it was covered was huge. I've lost 55 pounds. I am so much healthier now that I've lost the weight. I would never be able to do it without them.
Get started today and check your eligibility for GLP-1 medication with copays as low as $0 at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
Men, if you're ready to reclaim your edge, listen up. I used to be held back by constant bathroom trips with multiple wake-ups during my sleep and looking for restrooms whenever I was out. Then I discovered Better Man. After just 2 months, I started experiencing fewer trips to the bathroom, less urge to go, and I even slept through some nights. I feel a noticeable boost in my overall well-being, even sexual stamina. It gives me the freedom and confidence to live life on my terms. Better Man is clinically tested and trusted by thousands of men over 25 years. Ready to take back control? Go to BeBetterNow.com to order your supply today. That's BeBetterNow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed. Individual results may vary.
And now back to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Okay, the first thing, you have to keep in mind, when I was putting this list together, I was still a Disney podcast. So that's where my brain went first. And this is kind of a deep cut. So when you would see like an old Mickey Mouse cartoon, you'd hear do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You wouldn't hear the lyrics. But if you buy some of those old classic albums, you would hear, and the lyrics is Minnie's Yoo-Hoo. And he's saying, I'm the guy they called Mr. Mickey Mouse, got a sweetheart down in the chicken house. And it talked about Minnie calling out Yoo-Hoo to all the animals and how sweet he is and how he just loves Minnie for calling Yoo-Hoo. It's this great little song when you hear all the lyrics, and it just gives me the warm fuzzies every time I hear that song. I don't know why. I don't know why I love it so much, but okay. I am standing here wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt, got Mickey Mouse all over my backpack, so I will count that as why I get tickled so bad. I want to hear Minnie's Yoo-Hoo, which for years, like I said, I didn't even know there were lyrics until I bought one of their classic albums and it came on. I was like, wait a minute, that's a song from every opening of every Mickey Mouse cartoon from the early black and white days. Yeah, it's awesome. And you just hear like the end of it, like you would hear at the very, this at the beginning of the cartoon, it would just show like a title card up. Yeah. So yeah, who knew that was a whole song? Nice. All right. Cody, you're up.
I'll go with one from my childhood, Captain Planet. Captain Planet, he's a hero. He's going to take pollution down to a 0. And oh my goodness, it gave you the whole mission of not only Captain Planet, but of like the Planeteers, what they're trying to do and what this show's all about. And the show is quite literally, we're going green to the extreme before it was cool. And Loved it. Sometimes I will rewatch Captain Planet episodes as an adult. But
I never really watched it. What I did appreciate is each one of them actually did have a power that was useful. Because if you watch Voltron, and you're like, okay, your lions are about useless. Why don't you just form Voltron and pull that blazing sword out and get it over with? Deal with this Robies. But at least Captain Planet, they had powers with their rings, and they could do something useful before it's like, okay, now we're in a desperate situation. Let's go Planet, you know?
Yeah.
So I appreciated they actually had that much thought to where it wasn't like the, why aren't you just going and someone came to Captain Planet now? There was stuff they could do on their own.
Yes.
Yeah. Captain Planet made way for Thanos. If you think about it, they had the same problem.
They
just
did.
very different solutions.
Yeah. Or at least the movie version of Thanos. I still prefer the comic where he's just nasty and he's in love with death and he's trying to impress her.
That's right. Yeah. MCU Thanos.
Yeah,
had the
MCU
same,
Thanos. Which he
problem.
was still, and I love James Brolin. I think killed it as Thanos. He was an amazing. We made a very cool character, but I always kind of liked the original. Like, I'm in love with death. I know how to impress death.
Yeah, he was much more psychotic in the
Yes.
comics.
I like a good psychotic villain. Come on. Because they're scary because you don't know what they're going to do, you know?
Yeah. So, the other songs that come to my mind were just the ones that were just like the TV theme songs, usually movie theme songs back in the day, because they don't really do that much anymore. Like when they do, it's like Austin Powers. You know, they're kind of making fun of old entertainment, like it's a spoof. But like, what about Shaft? Ooh, like the Shaft theme song, like, shut your mouth. Well, I'm just talking about Shaft. Shaft. And like these songs like that. Spider-Man cartoon.
Well, now you're trying to squeeze in the second one.
Yeah.
Which one are you doing, Shaft or Spider-Man?
Well, both of them. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Oh, like the 60s version.
Yeah.
Because I guess the 90s one we didn't really get lyrics.
No.
Although, you did have Spider-Man.
Well, somewhere along the line they changed it, like this is not on my list, but like, all our cartoons were like G.I. Joe, a real American here. They told us who they were in the theme song.
You've now got like 3 in the...
Yeah. Oh, look, I can keep going.
I know.
Transformers, it's literally in the theme song.
I hope I don't have these already on my list.
Okay, sorry. Am I taking on your things on your list?
No, my list is all over the place.
I'm trying to be all over the place. But I'm going back to the Disney Vault because the Donald Duck theme, I don't know if there's a specific name to it, but this is how you relate to Donald Duck as who gets stuck with all of that luck? No one but Donald Duck. Yeah! I can't do a Donald Duck voice. I did demonstrate with Daniel Ross, so but I can't control it like he can. But yeah, it's like his opening theme for all of his cartoons would have this great little song, and it told you everything you needed to know about Donald Duck. Especially, like I said, the final lines, who gets stuck with all that luck? Because that's why I loved Donald as a kid. Everything happened to him. No matter what he was trying to do, it would go wrong. More than Goofy just being stupid, Donald would just have stupid stuff happen to him, like Wile E. Coyote. Wile E. Coyote could have the greatest plan figured out. He's going to catch that Roadrunner, and something stupid would malfunction that doesn't even make sense, and that was Donald Duck. He couldn't even make it. One of my favorite ones, he's trying to make the waffles, and he accidentally spills the glue into the waffle mix, and somewhere in the end, he's got like the spoon in the bowl, piloting around like a helicopter, chasing him around his house. How the heck does this happen? But that's why I love Donald Duck, because stupid crap would happen to him. So yeah.
Poor Donald.
Yeah. That's why I always liked him more than Mickey, because Mickey, by that time, he was kind of getting the parks, and he's kind of sanitized. They didn't let anything happen to him. He was nowhere near the rascal he had been in those early days, because they were like, and especially now if you go into the parks, the Mickey Mouse you're going to meet in the parks is not the one that we grew up with. He's so kid-friendly that it's like, he's not funny anymore, but we still love him.
We don't use the word rascal enough anymore. I think we need to go back to rascals.
That's right. Other than, your little driving things.
The next one I have is the song The Fool Who Ripped His Pants. That's from SpongeBob, for the listeners that are not familiar. And it's about SpongeBob in a very specific instance. He's trying to impress Sandy, the underwater squirrel. And he does it by ripping his pants over and over, and then everyone's laughing with him the first couple of times, and then everyone turns on him by the end of it. So then he forms a band where they sing about him becoming a fool who rips his pants.
That's one does.
That's another good deep cut.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So that was my next one. I'm not going to rattle off 20 like Dave in a row.
Sneak them all in there. Although you did listen, I'm glad you mentioned all those, though.
Yeah. Well, this one might also double as the greatest TV theme song of all time, like as a song. Like, it's just a great song. And it's the theme song from The Greatest American Hero.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
That's never the Golden Girls theme song.
The Golden Girls. Hey, listen, the Golden Girls theme song is very good. I'm not gonna slander B. Okay, but the Greatest American Hero theme song, that's on another level.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
That is a fan. I mean, heck, that one became a huge hit on the radio, even.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, you know, we're sitting here at a comic convention, and for, like, my generation, like, the kids that grew up in the 80s, it was TV shows that got us into comics, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So, like, now, you have kids that get into comics and then get into the movies, like the MCU movies and stuff like that, but, like, we didn't have access to all the things that they do now.
Yeah.
So you would see comics on, like, the little racks that spun at the grocery stores, but I didn't know much about them, but it was because we watched The Incredible Hulk. It was because we watched Wonder Woman and
Spider-Man
The Greatest American Hero. Yeah, Spider-Man and Amazing Friends. Like, listen, it wasn't on demand either. We had to get up on Saturday mornings and watch these things because we loved them.
And that's the thing that weirded me out is then we had that Incredible Hulk cartoon that started pairing up with an hour, and so I was seeing the Incredible Hulk entirely differently. Because like, he terrified me in live action, but that cartoon, I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, so the cartoon comes rolling out with more of your comic book style Hulk. Like, that's what's so great about the TV show Hulk is, I mean, you want deep. That's going way deeper. Like, that makes today's MCU movies look like, you know, old cartoons. Like, that TV show in the 80s, the late 70s, 80s, The Incredible Hulk, that's incredibly deep and heavy. Heavy themes.
Y'all are getting some good picks. I knew this would be a good topic. Okay. All right. So next thing I got on my keeping with the theme, I just realized. Now this is a little bit of a stretch. Okay. But Goofy kind of had a theme song, and it's kind of about himself, but a little different. But he got known for because like one of the earliest Goofy cartoons, he got known for singing the song "The World Owes Me a Livin'." And it caught on so well that the original Pinto Colvig, he would just throw it in, improvising it for every other Goofy cartoon. If he was just doing, he'd either hum it or he'd even sing the line, "The world owes me a living." And it actually came initially from, they had done a Silly Symphony where they were doing the grasshopper and the ant. They did a story of that, and it was the grasshopper's attitude that's where you'll hear the entire song. That of course the world owed him stuff, and of course that was the lesson. Like, no, the world owes you nothing. And Pinto Colvin took that and says, like, that's Goofy. He's not right, so he thinks somebody owes him everything, and that just shows like maybe the beginning of his mistakes, as he doesn't take personal responsibility so much, and so he'll goof up and he'll just kind of keep going, but he doesn't stop and think, hey, if I do this could go really wrong. So it's kind of a weird way to get to it, but it became the signature song for Goofy. The world owes me a living. That's the only line of it I know it because I've seen the Ant and the Grasshopper cartoon a few times, but I've seen probably more Goofy cartoons. So, but that's when you look at Goofy, you got a guy who basically just has no thought of personal responsibility of what could happen if he does the dumb things he's about to do.
Yeah.
Until we get later in Goof Trip, and then he's a responsible dad, so he's almost like a different character, and he just kind of lightheartedly messes up everything. But yeah, the early Goofy cartoons, it was almost a different thing when you think about it.
My next one is the Darkwing Duck theme song.
Yes.
Let's Get Dangerous.
Or DuckTales.
The DuckTales one's great. Darkwing Duck, you get the introduction that he's a daring duck of mystery, a champion of right, swoops out the shadows. Darkwing owns the night somewhere, some villain schemes, but his number's up. and then Darkwing Duck.
Better watch out, you bad boys. You have to say that in just the right sassy way.
Yes. If you listen to our pod long enough, you'll find out that Cody is a huge fan of Darkwing Duck. I mean, I like DuckTales and Darkwing Duck. I don't think I ever watched it. I was getting a little old by that time. But I did like some Launchpad McQuack.
Yes.
Launchpad's cool.
Yeah. So for my last two, I'm going to try to cheat a little bit here. Because I know you said words like lyrics that tell you who the character is. But my contention before I tell you my last two picks here is that the song itself became the characters. Like that anyone hearing these songs, even though it's just music and no lyrics, would immediately think of the character because it's synonymous with the character. And the first is the Raiders March from the Indiana Jones movies.
I was thinking you were going to say Jaws, because the Jaws, the music really was the character.
Jaws would qualify as well, I think, but you have these things like this with these music, but I think the two that stand out to me are Raiders from the Indiana Jones, and of course the Imperial March from Star Wars, which really became synonymous with villainy, like any villain, and then finally became synonymous with power, because across this nation you have high school and college marching bands. When their defense makes a stop in sports, they will play the Imperial March. It is literally synonymous with "look at our power." And so that to me transcends words, and the music itself becomes synonymous with the character of Darth Vader and the Emperor.
And for that matter, who can't hear the opening notes of Superman 1978 and go straight? I mean, it's a fanfare for Superman, and it almost at points it goes. If you put lyrics to it, look up in the sky, who is that? It's a bird, it's a plane, Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally says that. And, actually, a story where we're sharing on watching movies with my pastor because we were watching Superman. I forgot the director's name. Richard Donner, when he was hearing John Williams playing it with the orchestra, he messed up the recording because he got so excited he ran in there. It was like, John, you did it! The song it literally says Superman! And he spoiled the recording.
Yeah.
So, there are definitely some instrumental ones that, you can't separate from the character. You got a fair point there.
If you don't have...
I'm going to pause just a second. Okay, so we're back in function. Okay.
Next Street's back on all night. Get ready to street like it's 1999. The one and only AJ McLean of the Backstreet Boys.
I don't understand how Backstreet Boys being in Comic-Con, but you know what? Whatever. People want to go. I thought that was kind of an odd thing.
I think he said his name wrong.
AJ helped pioneer the generation. This is your chance to relive the glory days and hear from a true boy band legend in the Grand Ballroom.
True boy band legend.
At 2 o'clock.
I never like to call them boy bands. They're groups. Since I used to play an instrument, like, no, you're not in a band. You're not playing an instrument. You're singing. So you're a group of singing. So I call them a boy group.
Okay.
Singing group or whatever,
Fair enough. I mean, that's terrible NSYNC slander, but okay.
I wasn't a fan of NSYNC either. Nerd culture, pop culture. There's your difference. Okay, I guess we can start to wrap. And I actually made a list. I've got like 7 because I just kept going.
Yeah.
But I'm going to rapid fire a few of them at you. I don't know how many you got left.
I got 1.
You got 1 left? All right, so I'm going to rapid fire a few of them. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1980s, of course, that version. Of course, they've done some other pretty good theme songs.
Yeah.
For basically, when it came on, I remember when I was a kid, first episode I saw, what in the world is this? They're turtles, they're ninjas, and it actually gives you an introduction for each one of the turtles the entire time and tells you they're the world's most, fearsome fighting team. Yeah. What more did you need to know besides Leonardo leads and Donatello does machines?
Who did the one for the movie? You remember, was that Hammer? A Teenage Mutant Ninja Power.
That's Partners in Crime.
Okay.
It's a Turtle Power song. Yeah. Where they got it wrong and thought Raphael was the leader of the group. So anytime me and my buddy will sing that together, because we're white guys, we don't rap it, we just started singing. So we'll always change it around to Leonardo. He's the leader of the group.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of got stuck on Raphael because he was sort of your main character. They wanted to focus on his story arc. It's one of the things I think kind of works when you do an ensemble. It's like, all right, we got to pick one of them to have a good story arc to follow. And Raphael had already a good with his anger issues and able to follow and watch him kind of sort of develop. I don't know that it really resolved anything by the time he got to the end. But oh yeah, that's another good character song. TURTLE Power. We got the 1980s Ninja Turtles theme. I'm going to throw off a couple of my honorable mentions. Belle, Beauty and the Beast, gives you everything you need to know about her. The Batman 1966. You can't do this without.
It's just one word. Yeah,
but it's
great. Yeah.
Everything about it. Well, you got no.
That's not a word. That's not a word.
That's not a real word, but you can't hear it, and you know everything you know. It's Batman.
Some people say da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Either way.
Yeah. Anyways,
either way. But it got one key word.
It's super annoying.
But it told you everything you needed to know. Batman. It didn't describe him, but it gave you the music gave you the tone of the show and how it felt, where it was kind of that excitable kind of, but a little cheesy. Everything you needed to know about the show was in the music. And who was it about? Batman. So I had to listen to that, and of course, I think you mentioned Wonder Woman earlier. With of course, I think in like later seasons, I don't think they had the lyrics on there anymore. But when you hear the original, when she was "Stop a war with love, make the hawk a dove," for the old red, white, and blue.
That was a long time ago, and really we were just tuning in to see Linda Carter, so I don't even remember now.
But yeah, Wonder Woman, I think I mainly watched it in syndication, but everything. But yeah, so Wonder Woman, and I knew Wonder Woman maybe from watching Super Friends. So I was like, oh look, it's a live action Wonder Woman. So I was excited to watch that in syndication in the afternoons. So I think Channel 41 showed it at like 2:00 during the summer, so I'd watch it over at Grandma's house or something like that. So yeah, there's some honor mentions. Also, I guess I didn't have it on there, and I wasn't recording when I mentioned it earlier, but really the Electric Company Spider-Man theme, it's not a whole lot of lyrics, but nobody knows who he is. And that was always, it was a great intro. Now, Electric Company was another one, when I was a kid, scared me. I watched Sesame Street, and then all of a sudden, they're yelling at me through the TV, and I hated that. But then in school is when we started watching it, I was like, there's a Spider-Man segment in here. And so all the only things I really remember is the Spider-Man segments, and then Martin, my brain went out, Morgan Freeman. Why did I say Martin? Yeah, Morgan Freeman being on the Electric Company is the two things that I remember most.
I'd love those old PBS shows too. Yeah. Electric Company, Reading Rainbow, great theme songs.
Okay, that's not about characters. Here we go. Man or Muppet from
there you go,
a Muppet movie, and it is about those two characters because they're talking about their existential troubles.
Are we going to sing the bridge right now? I thought you were going to agree to sing the bridge.
I will let you sing the bridge, but quite literally, they realize
it's a two-part song.
Yeah,
it is. But again, I'm sparing the listeners from my singing. So
I'm a man.
I'm a Muppet.
I'm a Muppet man.
I'm a very manly Muppet. There we go. Yep. We did it. Okay.
That is a perfect character song for a movie.
Yeah.
And it has a lot more heart than any Muppet movie should ever have. And it just rocks.
Yeah. And that's one I tried to use as a description myself. I once described myself on Facebook. I said, I'm a Muppet of a man. And somebody says, what? You got a hippie's hand up your backside?
That's deep.
It's a little scary.
Okay. That got a little too far.
I don't know where your mind went. That's in your mind.
Wow. Okay. Well, I've already had my colonoscopy. I'm good for at least another couple of years.
You're taking this in a completely, this is all in your head. I just made a simple joke. I am in the ministry, sir.
I'm not. I can get away with it. All right, but we want to make sure we thank everybody for listening in here with us, and thanks for joining us here with the Pop Culture Pastors. And tell everybody now where they can find you.
You can find us anywhere you find podcasts: Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Just search Pop Culture Pastor and look for the comic word bubble with the two guys, jokers hanging on it. And give us a listen.
And just because I keep saying Pop Culture Pastors, remember it's only one, but I put an S on because there's two of you. So I have a habit. But if you're looking for it, it's singular Pop Culture Pastor. So if one of you ever gets fired and is not a pastor anymore, then you can still qualify for the same title.
Yes.
Okay.
Trying not to.
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. Well, you're already qualifying. You're handing out candy bars over here. It's like, there you go. That's youth pastor standard. You got to have the candy to hand out.
There you go.
And the good candy bars even. So there. All right, so everybody go and definitely check. Oh, Cody was going to say something about y'all too.
I have nothing. I am nothing. I just go off what he says. So,
I know you're carrying him through the show, right?
Yes.
He just admitted it.
Facebook and Twitter. We're also on there.
And Instagram. And the Gram.
And the Gram.
And the TikTok.
And Blue Sky.
Now I'm wondering if I'm following you guys on Instagram.
I don't know. I don't pay that enough attention.
Yeah.
We just
I only
post
get on
stuff.
Instagram to look at cat videos.
Most people are worried about like how many likes they get. Not us. We just post stuff.
Yeah.
You can either read it or not read it. We don't care.
Well, we care if you do.
We like to communicate. Like if you comment on stuff, like on the social media stuff you comment, we love community. But we don't really care, like, if we get 1 million followers or not. That's not what we're looking for.
Yeah. We're just trying to have fun in community. Yeah. And I'm a habit of, I just go and I hit like, and I'm just trying to help everybody's algorithm. I just hit like, because I post, I describe sometimes my posting as a little bit like the Joker describes, I'm just a dog out chasing cars. If I got a hold of one, I wouldn't want to know what to do with it. If I ever got a huge following from that, I don't know if I'd know what to do with it on Instagram. I don't call myself an influencer because who am I influencing?
I'm told you sell out. I'm told that's what you do.
Yeah. You know what? If it brought a little extra money, I'd sell out, you know.
We knew it.
I would. I am a Gen X 90s kid who's like, you know what? Everybody's telling us to sell out, but I'm not in a band anymore. I'm just some nerd who's out here trying to chase cars. If I caught one and sold out, I'd go with it.
All right.
Because if I could give up my day job and do this, I'd probably would. Although I do like my day job, but still, if that means that I would sell out, then okay, I would sell out to do this for a living. I don't know what else to say after that, so I'm gonna cut this off. Alrighty, now I'm going to throw all the ad stuff here all at once here at the end of the show because I want to remind you to go to neverlandpodcast.com. You'll find links for Podgagement. You'll find links for Dubby. Dubby, of course, is how you get some great energy drinks without all the jitters. It's a powder. There's the links right there that get you a discount. Podgagement also, I believe you can get a discount through that one as well. And of course, you're helping out the show by clicking into either of those off the Neverland Podcast website. We do, of course, want to thank Darren Wilhite, Ricky Pope, I forgot the name of the other one who's helped out, but everybody helped out with the title. I don't have my notes in front of me because I'm rendering video right now, by the way, of the first 6 hours of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Although heavily edited, if I get lost and wandering around and I can't figure out how to get somewhere, I've cut a lot of that out because it's kind of pointless. I'm almost going in circles. But I've got a huge chunk of video and I'm rendering it right now. So it will be up on the Neverland official gaming channel and you can check that out later. I don't know how quickly I'll have this up. Hopefully I'll be able to upload this like tomorrow or something like that. So that'll be up and available. And you can take a look at about 6 hours of gameplay and just get caught up in just how cool this is. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And if you happen to be playing it on a PlayStation, it will ask, you got the opportunity to connect it to your Microsoft account. I don't know what sort of bonus I'm getting for that, but I did connect it to my Hotmail account that I have that's connected with my computer with Windows. So I don't know what that did for me, but I did connect it. So just to let you know that it's there. Who knows? Maybe I'll get earning some Xbox points at the same time. I don't know. But yeah, I think I've gone through about everything except for, of course, you can find us on Facebook and X.com or Twitter. We have both a group under the Fandom Nexus. No, I think the group is still under, if you search for the Fandom Nexus, I think you can find the group, but it's still, the title of it is still Neverland Podcast if you have it in your web address or search bar. But you can find us, though. I recommend the group because it's a lot more interactive. We can do a lot of things. Jonathan Johnson still posts a lot of things in there. And, of course, I'm still doing stuff for Diz Radio. He's starting to get a bit more regular with that. So, yeah, go check out Diz Radio. I feel like I'm babbling and rambling and just keeping this going. But, yeah, of course, we're on YouTube. Tell other people about the show. Make sure you leave us a review, and I will share reviews here on the show. If you haven't left a review, please do. And I guess that's about everything I have for you because I'm not, like I said, I don't have my notes in front of me. I was just trying to hurry up and get this done so I can get this out to you so you all can enjoy the audio. And I hope you did enjoy it. And make sure you go and check out the Pop Culture Pastor podcast. All right. Until then, get lost in an adventure. Good night or goodbye.
Men, if you're ready to reclaim your edge, listen up. I used to be held back by constant bathroom trips with multiple wake-ups during my sleep and looking for restrooms whenever I was out. Then I discovered Better Man. After just 2 months, I started experiencing fewer trips to the bathroom, less urge to go, and I even slept through some nights. I feel a noticeable boost in my overall well-being, even sexual stamina. It gives me the freedom and confidence to live life on my terms. Better Man is clinically tested and trusted by thousands of men over 25 years. Ready to take back control? Go to BeBetterNow.com to order your supply today. That's BeBetterNow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed. Individual results may vary.